How's it going, everybody? Templar here, and if I got a class for you. If you like to left click 20 plus times to kill one group of archers, or like to fire arrows kilometers away, then the longbow is your class of choice. Let's get right in it. Now you may be asking yourself, Templar, why would I want to use a bow class? I got to left click 25 plus times to kill an archer group. Why don't I just play glaive or something that's going to be a little more efficient on the field of battle? Well, the longbow isn't supposed to be used for killing troops. I see a lot of people doing that. That's not the way the class should be played. The longbow should be played primarily for killing heroes. If you get the hero out of combat, the troops are going to go away. It's a win-win situation. Yes, with the longbow you can pick archers off. It's really good at that because of your infinite range. You just do that when there's downtime. You don't primarily focus on that. So the build. We got 89 agility. Pretty straightforward. You can't screw that up too much. For skills, these are the skills that the longbow has. You got flaming arrow. You shoot a fire arrow, lights things on fire, knocks enemies off their horse. Really good for fleeing heroes because you'll have a lot of people running away from you. You got rain of arrows. You shoot 12 arrows. They do 364 damage each. Kind of works as a shotgun blast if you close quarters it. Really good ability too. You got bodkin tipped arrows. Bodkin tipped arrows do piercing damage. They do about 1904, obviously modified by your agility. They reduce your opponent's armor by 20%, and it reduces the target's block. Another really good ability. Then you got marksman. Marksman increases your armor pen by 35% for 5 seconds. It's a pretty good ability in theory. Very hard to tell if it even works, but I run it on occasion just to see if anything happens. I'm still on the fence about it personally. And then you got all these useless abilities down here that really no longbow should be taking. If you're not confident in your positioning, you shouldn't be playing the class. You got sharp exit 3, you leap backwards at a great distance. And yeah, recovers from stun, allows you to escape. Pretty straightforward. You got light-footed, which is a roll ability. Well, it's not a roll ability, it just kind of makes you do a flippy roll. Shares the cooldown with sharp exits. You can't run both these bad boys at the same time. You could use the skill when stunned or knocked down, and increases your move speed. I personally don't touch these two abilities. If I die, I die. It's my own fault. Really decreases your DPS by replacing one of the attack skills. I would never recommend using these. So, ultimates. You got exploding arrow. Pretty good ultimate. Makes targets go flying. Does a ton of piercing damage. Really good for killing Imperial Spear Sergeant groups. Higher tier units with shields. Knocks them over. Your team can swarm them. Pretty good ability, yeah. Don't really think it's that useful. I don't run it. Probably never run it. I like to run Lightning Bolt. This ability is extremely good. Like, extremely good. Allows you to shoot an arrow that does more damage. Yes, it's on a smaller area of effect, but the arrow ignores 95% of the blocks in this game, and everyone hit by the arrow gets stunned, and it doesn't stop moving until it hits a block or hits a wall. This ability, you can kill people from extremely far away. It punches it like instantly through men-at-arms shields. The only thing I seems to be blocked by is Imperial Spear Sergeant shields. I gotta test it more, obviously, because I haven't run up against every unit's block. But unless they're an extremely tanky unit with a high block amount, it won't be blocked. And most people don't run that stuff. So if like the enemy's running away through his units, even if there's like 200 units there, this arrow will pierce through every single unit and kill them. You can get extremely good snipes with it. I honestly can't wait to max this ability out, see where it gets. And yeah, so combo for me. It's not really I mean, you can combo it. You got your bodkin tipped arrows, your flaming arrows, and your rain arrows, and your lightning bolt. Pretty straightforward. I mean, if you're not comfortable with your positioning as a longbow, even though you have infinite range, I don't know why you'd get caught in melee, but you can swap any of the. You'd probably swap rain of arrows out for one of these little escape abilities if you're not comfortable. Yeah, see, the little combo I guess you could do is shoot your bodkin tipped arrow first, because it reduces their armor, and then fire any of your other abilities off, and you do a little bit more damage. Pretty straightforward. Longbow class isn't that complex to play. It's more about learning what to target than anything, and kind of judging people's movements. I miss arrows like often enough. But if you get, like, you have that one really good game on occasion where you just never miss a shot and you're just throwing hero kills up. Like, I think I don't know, like 10th game in, I got 10 hero kills with just a longbow. And yeah, sometimes you KS those from people, but like you have this lightning tipped arrow. If people like to roll and run away to heal, you shoot this thing through and you'll get a lot of kills just from people trying to escape. That's why I recommend it a lot more than this exploding arrow. Exploding arrows for units, lightning tipped arrows for killing heroes. Don't know why you'd want to kill units a longbow, considering you literally have to left click 20 plus to 30 plus times to kill a unit. Big waste of your time. You're playing longbow, you shouldn't be going in for unit kills on your match. You should be getting those hero kills as high as possible. That'll make you an extremely good player. And yeah, I'll get into some gameplay, talk about some things I do, and yeah, let's get right to it. Alright, so as a longbow, even though you're not running any of the flippy abilities that allow you to escape, don't be afraid to get right up in close quarters combat. You put out a surprisingly high amount of damage as long as you can either land crits or headshots. So in this clip here, I'm bringing my Imperial Archers out. Wonderful unit, by the way. I was going to do a video on them, but someone just released one, so if you want it, I'll finish it and release it, and if not, that's fine too. I highly recommend these units though. So yeah, even with me pretty much being by myself right here, I'll stand down a cav charge as a longbow. I don't care. They're not too freaky, man. Just get the heroes. You want to kind of stay behind your units. Yeah, my unit gets slaughtered. I couldn't get him out of the way in time anyways. And you just want to get all the heroes trying to retreat. That last guy ended up missing him, but that sucks. It happens though. Right here, don't be afraid to get on point as a longbow, boys. I see a lot of longbows standing on the wall doing nothing. Get on point with your team. The more bodies that can absorb damage, the better. Even without the escape ability, I'll run on point with my archers and start shotgunning people down. Like, with Imperial Archers specifically, they can't run away when they get on point. The Imperial Archers love to target heroes. And yeah, look at people just keep coming in, and you just keep putting out all your abilities. As soon as they go off on cooldown, hit somebody with them. If you see your teammates targeting one hero, fire your bodkin tipped arrow at them, because it'll lower their armor and allow your team to finish off the hero easier. A longbow is pretty much just a really good support class. Don't worry about getting kills. Don't worry if your points are slightly low. If your hero kills are high, your unit kills are low, that's perfectly acceptable to me as someone that would be with a longbow player. Use your bow to your advantage. Right here's the example of the lightning arrow firing through the men-at-arms shield. I know they're not maxed out, but it's an example anyways. So he's fully in formation. That is a lot of impact resistance. Should be easy to block most things, but boom, right through the shield. Hits him for a quarter of his life. Pretty good ability. As a longbow, you should be rolling with a group of archers. Use your archers to your advantage. They'll clear the troops off of you while you focus on the heroes. This is kind of a massacre because they have lower tier units against like my Imperial Archers, fire archers and stuff, but it's just an example. That whole army they brought is slaughtered by archer fire, and what are we doing? Well, I don't know what my other longbow is doing there, but me specifically, I'm targeting the heroes as much as possible. Without the heroes, they don't have the units. And they try to run away, and there's your job. Boom, hit them in the back, get them down. Right here shows you can 1v1 other bows, no problem. You just gotta land your shots better than the other guy. I don't even think he noticed me at first, to be honest, and he got trebbed, but each their own. Just try to predict his shots before you fire. I know it's hard, especially when the game's desyncing sometimes, but do the best with what you got, man. Another thing with longbow is normally you bring archers with you into battle. Don't worry about bringing melee troops. Like all these people looking for other nerfs on classes because their melee troops are dying so much, don't bring them as a longbow. You're supposed to be your archer's guardian angel. When people start running at your archer groups, if you hit them with 2 arrows, they get a micro stun. Your archers will 360 and one-shot those guys. Like, stay with your troops enough to protect them if the area is still contested, But don't be, like I'm saying, don't be afraid to go out and leave your troops on their own too. If you're pushing the line up, more than likely a longsword isn't going to sneak behind you and slaughter 60 archers. Never had that problem before the nerfs that came out for longsword, and I still haven't had that problem now that the nerfs are out. So it's all about unit management with archer groups. And right here's kind of just like I don't know, prolonged battle. This is kind of what happens over a few minutes. We're losing 8 point. We lost the wall. You're going to see my whole team just disappears, and I was kind of, I don't know, fish-eyed or whatever. I wasn't paying much attention. I ended up being on my own with like 2 heroes. And this is kind of what a group of archers can do with their longbow supporting them. So we got 1 kill. I think we ended up killing another guy here somewhere. And yeah, so that's a short sword. That's a long sword right there, and you just keep hitting him with arrows. He's running away because he doesn't want to deal with all this archer fire. And yeah, you just keep firing, man. I don't know. There's not much to explain about longbow, really. Focus the heroes. Fire your abilities when they're off cooldown. Try not to get caught out if you're not using the dash abilities. The dash abilities are not very good, and I think people really cripple themselves by removing one of their arrows. And like right here, my archers are getting slaughtered, yes, and I do have 2 heroes as backup, yes, but we are still able to kill these 2 guys, I do believe. You just keep focusing your abilities. And if people are trying to run, like this guy starts running, shoot that lightning arrow. It fires really fast, and it does a ton of damage. There's not too much else to say about longbow, man. Don't focus units too much. Focus heroes. Help your team by getting the heroes off the field. Try not to KS your team too much, but at the same time, you don't want kills to escape. So if they start ragging on you for getting kills that maybe weren't yours, don't worry about it. Just finish the job. And with that, I'd have to say there's not much else to say, really. Just get the kills on the heroes. As usual, like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions, send me a message. I'll get that Imperial Archer video out if you guys want it. If not, no big deal.